Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Salam alaikum. I think what I'd like to start with is saying that I can't believe we're standing here 7 years on and Britain and America are still waging their illegal war in Afghanistan. The loss of life and dignity suffered by the Afghan people on a daily basis is an utter disgrace, particularly considering there was not a single Afghan person involved in the attack on the Twin Towers. Yet that country and its people are being victimised as a result of the racist policies of Britain and America. At the time of the war in Afghanistan, the original beginning, an advisor to Tony Blair wrote that the opportunities in Afghanistan, perhaps even the need for colonisation, is as great as it ever was in the 19th century. And we should be very clear that the war in Afghanistan is all about that. It's about us trying to colonise a country that does not belong to us, to subjugate people whom we have no right to treat in that way. And I think what's adding insult to injury is that the Afghan people in this country are now being harassed by the special branch and the police officers of Strathclyde Police. It's an utter disgrace and it has to be stopped. The statistics in Afghanistan are absolutely terrifying at the moment, and I know that there are many people here who know this and who need to be told this by someone who is not as familiar with the country as they are. But the mortality rate amongst infants in Afghanistan is at 13.5%. That's 13 babies out of every 100 die as a result of our policies. And instead of harassing Afghans in this country, what Britain should be doing is putting a stop to our war, putting a stop to what we're doing to the Afghans, and making sure that they have a quality of life. What concerns me is the questions that are being asked. Apart from the actual harassment, the fear, the indignity of the practice of stopping Afghans at the airport, what concerns me is the questions that they're asking, because it seems to me that they are the wrong questions. And instead of Special Branch asking the Afghans how many times they pray, maybe Special Branch should be stopping members of the government and asking them how many times they voted to slaughter people in other countries. And instead of Special Branch asking Afghans which mosques they go to, maybe they should ask members of the government which meetings they go to where decisions are taken to continue this war in Afghanistan. And instead of asking Afghans whether they know Osama bin Laden, maybe the Special Branch should ask the politicians in this country if they know George Bush and Tony Blair, because they're the real terrorists and they're the real threat to world peace, and they're the people that need to be tracked down and arrested, not innocent Afghans who have fled the war and come to this country for safety. As I finish, I would just like to say that the Stop the War Coalition stands in solidarity with all the people of the Afghan community, whether it's the people of the Afghan community living in this country or whether it's the people of the Afghan community living in Afghanistan itself. We will do everything we can to stand shoulder to shoulder with you to help you fight this harassment and to support you in your fight against the Special Branch of Strathclyde Police and their racism. Thank you for coming here today.
The next speaker is Hanif Raja, who is the chair for Pakistan Forum in Glasgow. Hanif Raja, please come and say your words. Thank you.
Thank you, Asad. Good afternoon to you. Assalamu alaikum. I'm delighted to be here. First of all, I must thank Asad to organize this demonstration today, because it's going on for too long, and it's a time that Muslims should demonstrate not only against anti-war pollution problem, it is a problem for the whole of the Muslim of Scotland. They've been suffered through the police brutalities. Since that we have applied for PIA, it is not an Afghan issue, it is an issue of the Muslim living in Scotland. Let me tell you, since the PIA flight started, we had about 4 meetings with the police. The plea is that we feel that one day someone from that flight is going to escape. Either it's going to be a hero or a terrorist. For God's sake, these flights have been coming in years into London. How many terrorists have been travelled in those flights? And my request to the police is, for God's sake, stop those flights if you intend that you're so fear that flights going to carry these terrorists into those flights. So either ask the PEA to stop those flights to fly into Glasgow, and let these innocent people who are travelling to their loved ones to be peacefully travelled into those cities. I have been harassed by the police. I have been harassed by the customs at Glasgow Airport. So it is not fair treat that they are giving. So our demonstration is not against only against the terrorist police, but police chief constable who is responsible for this whole issue. So my request to all of you is, make sure that you don't have a meeting with them, because once you meet, they don't have issue. Do demonstrate and raise your issue with your politicians and with the police, because we are peace-loving citizens. Glasgow and Scotland is our country. We are more peaceful-loving than other nationalities people. So my request to you all to join hands, join with us. I must thank also that you organized this demonstration. We are with you whenever you need us, and this is our unity demonstration, not only of one people. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Hanif. As everybody says here that Afghanistan is the victims of British and American bombing, on the daily basis there are 100 to 200 Afghans killed on the daily basis with the British and American bombs in Afghanistan. We fled from the same terrorists where you are fighting in Afghanistan, and we try to be a law-abiding citizen, and we are peaceful people here. The next speaker we have is Joe Morris, who is the chair for the Glasgow campaign to welcome refugees.
Seven years ago, when asylum seekers were first dispersed to Glasgow, there was a great danger of racism and xenophobia breaking out in working class housing schemes of Glasgow. The first place that asylum seekers were sent to was up in Sight Hill. And racism and xenophobia was being whipped up by the tabloid press. At that time, it's people like Mohammed Asif and the other Afghan asylum seekers in Sight Hill who were absolutely central to breaking down that atmosphere of racism and xenophobia. They were absolutely central to changing the whole course of events in Sight Hill, and made Sight Hill into an example of how working class people and asylum seekers can live together and get on. The campaign to welcome refugees was built in Sight Hill on that basis, solidarity between working class people and asylum seekers. Mohammed Asif and the Afghan refugees were absolutely central to that. The campaign went on to bigger and greater things. Working class communities came out and defended their neighbours against drone raids. School children ran campaigns to defend their friends against deportation. The result eventually was effectively an almost amnesty. The legacy review meant that 500 families in Glasgow received leave to remain. Included amongst those were a great many of the Afghan asylum seekers who had been so central to the campaigning. Now, winning the leave to remain meant that it became safe for them to travel. Safe for them to travel everywhere in the world except when they returned to Britain. And presumably the treatment that they receive at the hands of the police when they come back to Britain is part of the campaign to win hearts and minds in Afghanistan. We in Glasgow and in Scotland and in Britain owe a huge debt of gratitude to Mohammed Asif and the Afghan refugees. They have been central to making Glasgow, rather than a hotbed of racism and xenophobia, rather than a centre of vicious race riots and all the rest of it, a shining example of solidarity between ordinary working class people and their refugee neighbours. We have Mohammed Asif and the Afghans to thank for that. It's now our turn to pay back that debt of solidarity. Solidarity is mutual support. Mohammed Asif, you and the Afghans have been here for us, for the city of Glasgow. It's now time that we were here for you. I call upon the Province of Glasgow and the Council of Glasgow to make public statements denouncing the treatment of Afghans when they return to this country. I call upon the Scottish Government to do likewise, and the British Government. It's high time that the Afghan refugees were treated with the respect which they deserve. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you. We have the next speaker, who is the councillor in the Glasgow City Council, Mohammed Khalil, and he is an SNP.